views. I don't want to be Mr. Views. Daymare continuing, which, as I've said, the more I play it, the more the game kind of grows on me. It's got this really cheesy, you know, B-movie vibe with its bad voice acting and pretty ridiculous plot. Some cheesy scares and, you know, subpar production values. Alright, I want to go back and use that. Oh, what the fuck? I just came through here. I just fucking came through here, man. That's bull. It spawned the enemy out of thin air. Out of thin fucking air. The other important thing about this weekend is that we are continuing on with the vest streak. We've hit 90 straight streams where we've hit the vest streak. Insane. And, you know, do we keep this going all weekend long through Monday? That means, as of Monday night, we will have hit a 100 vest streak.
This is ridiculous. Just kill me. Just fucking kill me.
Okay, that's pretty insane. And if we do that, that means the special 100 vest streak celebration will be happening on Wednesday of next week. What does that entail? Well, first of all, the stream's going to be way more just chill and interactive and hanging out and talking. It's going to be the return of DSP Tries It. We're live on the stream. I'll be ordering food, and it's going to be delivered, and I'm going to do a live DSP Tries It. The reason I'm doing an episode of DSP Tries It is because something special has come out.
Oh my god! What the fuck? Whoa! Whoa!
This year, that finally in the year of 2018, I felt warranted a new episode of DSP Tries It. Ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention to the sandwich in front of me called the Nightmare King from Burger King.
If you're not aware what this is a burger, and it's a chicken sandwich.
So, yesterday on pre-stream, I talked about the drama content creators on YouTube. And I talked about how, at this point, it seems like YouTube is completely blowing up because everyone is on each other's throats. Every one of these people who every day they say, oh, this is the news and I'm going to cover these topics, but it's not. What it is drama. They get into other people's personal shit for personal benefit. You know, this is what they do. They think they're content creators, and in reality, they're just shit stirrers. They're people who benefit every day by creating toxicity and essentially hurting other people every single day of their lives, and they get off, or they get by. They make money doing this. Some of these people are rich and have giant homes and giant sponsorships and all this kind of stuff because they do this toxic content every day. And I talked about it yesterday and basically said I completely disagree with this. This is something that I very rarely have ever dabbled in my 12 years being on YouTube. Very shortly in 2016, I think I made a few videos of this style and then I quit and said I don't want to do it anymore. And it's something that I hate. Of all the content that you find on YouTube, there's really two bottom of the barrel things in my opinion. And the first is the stupid prank videos, the videos where people are acting over the top, you know, the Logan Pauls. You know what I mean? It's the garbage content creators who have absolutely nothing to add to anyone's life. Instead, they just make garbage content that's completely unsafe, stupid, you know, going to a suicide forest in Japan and making jokes in front of hanging dead bodies. You know what I mean? No one's going to defend that kind of content.
Oh my god, we got a jumper! Contact the police! Get NYPD out here! Snake's had it up, he's committing suicide. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to complain every day and say, wah, I'm not making ad revenue, wah. And by the way, I'm certainly not going to start making videos of suicidal bodies hanging in the background and me making jokes about them to get millions of views cheaply overnight on YouTube. Like a few other people did. I hate worthless humans. If you worked on this part of the game, you're a worthless human. Go kill yourself. Go fucking kill yourself. And make sure you do it in a way that doesn't hurt anyone else. So like jump off a fucking bridge or something. And do it in the dead of night so no one tries to save you. Because you don't deserve it. Oh my god. Worthless humans. Worthless humans. There are too many people in the world. It's pretty obvious the world's overpopulated if someone got paid to fucking program this part of the game. Look at this. I want to know. Send me the name of the person who worked on this portion of the game. so that I can tell them how worthless they fucking are. And if they have kids, that's actually horrible, because they don't deserve to have kids, because they're worthless. And only people who are productive members of society should be able to have children. Worthless fucking humans. Worthless. I think I might have some arsenic or cyanide or something for these assholes. Just come on over, I'll give you it for free. You know, then you're talking about, these next guys would be the drama creators. These guys are the ones that I just don't understand how this exists. I don't understand how YouTube thought there was value in this content. All you gotta do is watch a single one of these videos to see it's drama. All it is drama stirred up for the sake of profit, right? And recently, the reason this is blown up is because now everyone's attacking Keemstar, saying that he's a real scumbag because of the things he's done over the years. And it's like, for me, it's like, well, anyone who does this drama content is guilty of it. YouTube is guilty of it because they promoted this kind of content for years and relied on these people to become popular. You know, some of these people, millions upon millions of subs and views on this kind of shit, you know? But anyway, the only reason I'm bringing it up again is because now, of course, this is exactly what I knew would happen, right? So you had everyone kind of turning on Keemstar, piling on him, saying that he's the villain and he's the bad guy. And then Keemstar, of course, yesterday defended himself, made a video and said, I'm not responsible for anyone who committed suicide and the stuff that I did over the years. That's preposterous. And in reality, the people who are accusing me are hypocrites, and here's evidence of that. And basically showing that, you know, some of the people that accused him, like H3H3, have done exactly the same thing he's done, just like him, and then he's a hypocrite for trying to call him out and basically, like, insult him, right? And so, you know, you see all this crap, and you're just like, you shake your head, and you're like, I can't believe it exists. I can't believe people watched this crap to begin with, but they did. You know, this is, again, there's three parties who were guilty in a situation like this, with YouTube being so just brought down into the toxic cesspools of existence. The first is, obviously, the people who made the drama content to begin with. They're guilty. They, on a daily basis, made this content to bring down others and didn't care about who they hurt in this content, and basically did it to make money and to get themselves over. All right? And like I said, this is something that I never wanted to be a part of. There's very few times over the years, even though I am guilty of it. I said this yesterday. I'm very guilty of it. I've done it myself. I very rarely let myself get pulled into that fucking vortex. Less drama, more fun, and more enjoying gaming together than anything else. That's been my focus this year, okay? I just say, you know, if someone brings me up in their content, and therefore I have a need to address it in my content, I'll do so. But very rarely would I go out of my way to talk about this, you know, on a stream or in a video, because I just don't want to get involved in it, right? I just ignore it and I just do my positive thing. I like people who are honest in themselves. I don't like people who's portraying a character, people who are acting for the camera, people who are trying to overdo it. For example, the content creators who scream at the top of their lungs every time they play a horror game, even though nothing's really scary. The content creators who dress up in really brightly colored things. They dye their hair neon colors. Why are they doing that? Because they're trying to look like cartoon characters to attract children. That's, you know, and the funny thing is, I'm here after almost 12 years now. I'm still here, and I never had to sink to that level. You know what I mean? And I pride myself on that. I told you guys yesterday, I can sleep easy knowing, at least with the content I put out, I never really concretely hurt anyone. I never directly, you know, ruined anyone's life or did anything like that just to get over and to make popularity and money for myself, right? Or at least if I did, and I sincerely mean this, I apologize to anyone who feels that I wronged them or I hurt them over the years because of things that I did, because that was never my intention, nor did I ever want to be one of these kind of attack comedians or anything like that. To me, I just wanted to play games and have fun with it, and that's all I ever cared about. And inflections in my voice and sayings and mannerisms and things that I would say and do, because I was watching something. And it would happen subconsciously. I wouldn't even realize that I was like absorbing these things from around me into me and how I acted. And so it was funny because I would find myself saying, like, wait a minute, that's something that my friend used to say. Why do I say that now? I didn't even realize it. So when I was watching AVGN, all of a sudden, I'd be playing games, get angry, and yell an expletive like the AVGN would do. And if you watch my old stuff, a lot of the time I would do shit like that. But I did feel that, like, if I kept watching AVGN and Nostalgia Critic and other content creators like that at the time, because they weren't called content creators back then, that I would absorb too much of them, and I wanted to be something original, and I wanted to be true to myself, not what I absorbed from other people. So that's kind of why I creatively said I need to turn all that content off and just let me be creative for myself, okay? But anyway, it's funny how in one day, Keemstar makes a video, oh, this is my response, see, look, everyone's a hypocrite. This guy in particular, H3H3, is a hypocrite because he does the same thing I do. And it's funny because you're watching, I'm like, well, that doesn't necessarily, that's not really a defense. You know, a defense would be, oh, everything that you said about me is wrong, and here's proof that it's wrong. But it's not. He didn't do that. Instead, he basically just said, well, you see, you're a hypocrite because you did it. It's like, wait a minute. So, okay, the pot called the kettle black, but you're still guilty. You know what I mean? Like, you still did it. You can't defend yourself against years of systematic abuse against people and making a living doing it. You know what I mean? And again, it baffles me that YouTube allowed it and YouTube promoted it, right? But anyway, I think the real development now about this is that Keemstar actually lost his major sponsor, G Fuel. I guess this is one of his big sponsors or one of his major sponsors. And he said that he walked away from them. But I don't know about that. You know, like, it might have been a mutual thing. It might have been G Fuel's like, you know, this is crazy negative press for us. We can't deal with it anymore. And they dropped him. Or it could be that he agreed to walk away. I mean, who knows, right? It's kind of, the way I see it, it's kind of the situation that I had with Machinima. Okay? So here's what happened with me and Machinima. Basically, my channel was being destroyed. Ad revenue was in the toilet. And this was my main source of income at the time. And I told Machinima, my partner company, what's going on? I need info. Well, they dragged me along for almost a month and gave me no info. And I was like, well, listen, you're ignoring me. You're telling me to wait. Like, I'm supposed to just sit here and make no money. I can't pay my fucking bills. You got to give me an answer. And if you can't give me an answer, be honest with me and be transparent. And they weren't. At the very end of 2015, Machinima, my longtime YouTube partnership company that allows me to put advertisements on my gameplay videos and protects me from all kinds of bullshit on YouTube, they contacted me and said, we're really sorry, Phil, but your contract that you've had with us for a long time is no longer viable. You know, I used to have a contract that was based off of YouTube views. So if you just watched my video, I got paid a certain amount. They said, we don't have those contracts anymore, and we've been told by even our accounting, our finance department, they're not viable. They don't make money. They don't even cover each other cost-wise. So I was losing Machinima money for some amount of years that I was still under this contract. So they had to renegotiate me into a still pretty ridiculously fair contract, to which point I didn't want to leave Machinima, but basically that meant I was going to lose a lot more money. And trust me, I looked out there, I talked with 3 different other companies to see what else was out there and what they were offering. And even though people tend to talk shit about Machinima all the time, I can confirm with you that the contract I'm with Machinima right now is way better than anything anyone else is offering, period, out there. It's actually that ridiculously fair in my favor that I would be an idiot to leave Machinima and their partnership, all right? Especially with all the tools and things that they do to help me, and the fact that I mean, all the music I put in my edited videos, Machinima gives to me for free. All the help that I need with YouTube issues, or if I get a false copyright strike, the reason it gets cleared up more quickly is because Machinima has my back. I'd be an idiot to not be with Machinima anymore, okay? Machinima was just basically dragging me along and not telling me anything and not caring, to the point where I went, instead of just using the regular log system to get an answer on this situation, I went around that and I tried to contact the head of the partnership division, who I had had many amicable interactions with, and in the past I was told I could easily talk to this guy in any case where there's an issue. I go to do that and basically find out the guy didn't work for Machinima anymore, and no one told anyone that he didn't work for Machinima anymore. So essentially, I had no contacts in the company, and no one ever told me that.
So here it is, February 2017. all of a sudden my ad revenue on YouTube halves. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my bills anymore. I contact Machinima, and Machinima is literally, I'm not even exaggerating, literally treating me like dirt. Like, whatever, we'll look into it, but stop bothering us. That's the kind of the response I got from them. That was kind of like, we understand this is important to you, but just stop bothering us. We'll get to you back to you when we feel like it. And I'm like, what? This is my livelihood. I could lose my house. I could lose everything. I could go into financial ruin because all of a sudden my YouTube revenue just dropped by 50%. And Machinima was kind of like, meh, who cares? And like, that's not the attitude to have.
And then I got basically chastised. I got my hand slapped and was told, how dare you try to go around our standard communication method of doing a log system, to try to get information about this, because we told you we're looking into it, and therefore don't ever do this ever again. Basically they treated me like a child, yelling at me and telling me, oh, how dare you try to get help. So I'm with a partnership company who takes a cut of my income, okay? The reason they take a cut of my income is because they're supposed to help me with issues like this. For a month, they don't help me with issues like this, right? And then finally I say, all right, I'm going to take matters in my own hands and try to talk to someone else I know in the company. And then I get yelled at and treated like a child, all right? So I told Machinima, listen, it's this simple. If this is how you're going to treat me, I don't want to be with you anymore.
When you have people who, especially me, I've worked with them for over 6 years, right? Being a dedicated partner for them, sticking up for them. When people told me year after year after year to leave them because they weren't reliable and because of the things happening behind the scenes that they were doing that were underhanded and bad. And I ignored all that, all right? And said, no, I'm going to be loyal to them and I'm going to stick with them.
So please give me an answer on this situation immediately, or else, basically that's it. I don't want to be with you anymore.
Who are you to speak to me like that? You're basically disrespecting me because I might lose everything financially. You're not giving me answers. And then when I go to someone who's helped me in the past, you basically treat me like a small child and tell me not to try to seek out help. And that's what I told him. I said, I don't want to work with you anymore. Like, seriously, if this is how I'm going to be treated, I don't want to work with you anymore. And so at that point, I guess Machinima decided, gee, forget it. Since this guy looks like he's going to give us bad press anyway, let's get rid of him. And they canceled all my contracts. They basically said, at this point, we're just going to end all the contracts with you. And I was like, all right, fine. That's kind of what I want anyway, since you guys aren't helping me at all. All right.
And then Machinima said, okay, well, we're going to terminate your contract then. So technically, Machinima ended the partnership after I told them end the partnership. Now, is that me walking away? Not really. Is that them firing me? Not really. It was kind of a both sides saying, I guess at this point, there's no more amicable agreement. So we're just ending it, right? And that's kind of how I think probably what happened here with Keemstar. There was so much negativity associated with this guy over the last day because of his actions over the years, right? That G Fuel probably contacted him and was like, this is too much. This is nuts. What can you do to stop it? And he's like, what can I do? I can't stop it. This is who I am. This is the content I create. This is who I am and what I've done over the years. You guys, you would have thought, and here's what gets me about this, right? You would have thought anyone who sponsors a content creator like that would be smart enough to know what that entails and know what you're sponsoring. You know what I mean? Like, is Keemstar to blame for G Fuel all of a sudden changing their mind about him? No. He made that content forever. You know what I mean? So why would they all of a sudden drop him now because public opinion's flipped on him? But he didn't change. He's not all of a sudden making different content that's worse. That's what he always did. And G Fuel was okay with it as long as the gravy train rolled in and as long as they made sponsorship money on it. But now all of a sudden, Keemstar's in a negative light. Oh, let's drop Keemstar, right? That's fucked up in my opinion. I basically think that this whole situation is exposing a major problem with the toxicity of YouTube and content creators and sponsorships, is that it's, as I've told you guys many times over the years, it's the Wild West, right? Like, anything goes until someone gets hurt. And then when someone gets hurt, now we got to go back and look at our last 10 years of shit that we did and say, oh, maybe that wasn't okay. And now we need to change our attitudes, right? And that's kind of like exactly what I think is, it was fine for these people to make all this toxic content for 10 years You know, these people who, you know, Keemstar's been all doing this for a long time. He's not someone who just came out of nowhere. This guy has been doing this for a very, very long time. And for me, it's like, it's established, it exists. Obviously, YouTube's okay with it, right? So I'll be honest, like, I'm shocked to hear that Keemstar loses a sponsor as a result of this. Like, that kind of makes me feel like G Fuel's like a dirty company. You know what I mean? Like, oh, as long as we didn't care what anyone did, what content they put out, as long as we're making money, we're fine. Oh, wait, there's total negativity associated with someone now, and that we're being bombarded on social media negatively. Well, let's drop this guy. You want to know why this actually irks me and why I'm talking about this morning? I'll tell you why. Because this is exactly what happens to me. You know? The difference here is, all right, between me and Keemstar, is that the stuff that people say about me is overly, insanely over-exaggerated to the point where it's not true.
It's not true. Most of the stuff that's been said negative about me is based on a snippet of truth that's blown out of proportion with a bunch of lies. But because it has the snippet of truth, gullible people believe it.
You know? And I cannot get a sponsorship at all because of this is what happens. You know, a couple years ago, here I am on Twitch, and they launched the sponsored streams program where you can play a game, and, you know, as long as you announce it as a sponsored stream, they view that as advertisement for their game, and you get paid some bonus money for playing a game. And I play 2 different games, and during those streams, I'm, you know, playing them honestly, giving you my honest reactions or whatever. Hell, one of them was the middle of a playthrough that was a legit playthrough I was already doing that hadn't been sponsored. But I said, hey, I'm in the middle of the playthrough. It's a no-brainer. Why not take the opportunity to do this sponsored stream? And just because I'm playing the game sponsored and getting some extra money, and I had to publicly announce that, my trolls and haters go over to these companies, bombard them on their social media with complete slander and defamation and lies about me, saying he's a pedophile, he's a scammer, he's a thief, he's this, he's that. All bullshit.
DSP is a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck. DSP is this and that.
Right? But they get away with it, and these companies contact Twitch and tell Twitch behind the scenes, listen, you know, not to say that we believe any of this or we could do anything about this, but, you know, these people attacked us and made us basically not be able to even use our social media for like 2 days when Phil played our game. And, you know, so we have to say we don't want Phil in this program anymore because this is probably going to happen with every company, right? You see what I mean? So that's bullshit. Me losing sponsorship opportunities. I can't do a sponsor. Everyone else on Twitch can do a sponsored stream but me. I'm literally the one person who's been blacklisted from sponsored streams, not because of anything I actually did, but because of trolling, right? So that's bullshit. And at least what I can say is this, at least I was never someone who was reliant on sponsorships, right? Like, I've had a couple over the years, very minor sponsorships. Very minor. Nothing major at all. And every once in a while, I get another one. And it's cool when I get them, and they're very quick and fleeting, and then they go away. I don't have any long-term relationships with any company because of this disgusting group of people who follow me around the internet and ruin all those opportunities for me by spreading slander and defamation about me that's wrong. And I guess that's the major difference between me and Keemstar is, you know, the people who are spamming G Fuel and saying, drop this guy, are actually just showing his content. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, he's a scammer and he does this and that and just basically slandering him. It's, well, here's something he did to someone and probably mentally fucked them up, you know, and, you know, this guy's not alive anymore. You know, this could have contributed to this guy's death. The stuff that this guy said and did about this guy on the internet and had no self-awareness of what he was doing and didn't really give a shit. Just wanted to fucking get himself over, right? So the thing is, I could see different perspectives for sure. And by no means am I defending Keemstar whatsoever at all. That's ridiculous. No way would I do that. But at the same time, I see how fucked up it can be that, oh, it's okay for him to get all these sponsors and everything. And every sponsor knew exactly what he was doing and was okay with it. And now all of a sudden, other YouTubers attack him. He's seen in a negative light for for it's not even the first time. It's just basically the first time that other major YouTubers have gone after him like this, I guess. And now all of a sudden he's dropped, right? So I don't know. And the funny thing is, again, you'll never know the true story because Keemstar says he walked away. Yeah, he walked away from money. Sure, he did. I really, that's kind of like Ninja. Oh, I walked away from Twitch. I walked away from all that money I was making on Twitch just because I don't like some of the practices of Twitch. That's why I'm going to Mixer. Right. I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous of certain people and people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have, been more successful or things like that. I will believe that the day when dinosaurs come off of Mars and land and start, they tell us that vegan life is the way to go. That's when I'll believe that. So, yeah, I'm just so glad that I'm an outside observer, that I'm not involved in it. I'm not ingrained in it. I could just casually talk about it on pre-stream like this. And as you noted, I'm not doing a fucking hype ass stupid video to talk about it. I'm just relaxing with you guys. Same thing. It's basically everyone who's toxic on YouTube at this point is like pointing at each other and saying, you're the bad guy. No, you're the bad guy. It's like, actually, you're all the bad guy. Like, your entire toxic drama community was always the bad guy. You never put out a single piece of meaningful content in the years and years that you guys put this crap out. Never once have you put out meaningful content. All you do is create fluff that's toxic and that hurts others so you can make money. That's fucked up. And yesterday I talked a little bit about Review Tech USA. And I said, this guy seems to be the drama creator that talks about me all the time. So, if you are a content creator and you want to try to get someone on an interview or a podcast or a stream, or you want to get another content creator involved in your stuff, what is the best way to go about it? I'll tell you. As someone who's been 11 years in the business, you contact them via the business email and or the way that they are supposed to be contacted and ask them behind the scenes if they'd be interested. You don't go on their stream in the middle of a fucking regular nightly stream, a weekly thing they do, and throw a cheer at them asking for them to be on a podcast. You want to know what that is? Drama. It's called, I went on Phil's stream, I offered to be on my podcast, and you declined. So, no. What happened is you didn't even contact me properly. You wasted my fucking time. And you tried to put me on the spot for drama purposes. I don't play that game. I'm smarter than you, and I'm not going to do stupid shit like that. So, that's what I mean. Like, there's so many ways you could professionally go about doing something, but then people try to do drama shit like that. I don't play that game, Maybe. If I had been contacted behind the scenes at some point about that, I would have considered it, but now there's no way I'm considering it. So, for a guy like him, I hope a situation like this is kind of eye-opening. Here's what I mean by that. Someone like Rich, I actually feel deep down Rich is not a bad guy. I don't think that at all. I think Rich is a guy that over the years, he wanted to be a content creator who did tech reviews. And sadly, it just didn't fly on YouTube. And so he said, well, here's the content that does succeed on YouTube. So I need to start doing it. Okay? And so he started making that kind of content. And then he found himself sucked into that vortex, the drama vortex, where every day he has to put out a new drama video, a new spin. There's days when he talks about me specifically, just me. And I'm like, but Rich, we have no relationship. I'm not your friend. We don't have any kind of interactions, right? Why would you bring me up? I'll be honest, what really irked me was years ago when he started making videos about how my YouTube channels were dying and all of this. And I'm like, let's just for a moment, right? Let's say that was true. Do you really think that making videos like that helps? No. What that does is it hurts. It actually makes people think negative, toxic things about a content creator who apparently you don't hate. So why would you make that content? And the answer is because you want to make money. You have nothing to talk about that day. You want to make that drama content to make money, and that pissed me off, and that's the thing about Rich is I think that he's actually someone who could not be a toxic content creator. He's someone who could actually review tech, play games, have a positive community. But what happened was he fell into the vortex of the kind of shit that Keemstar does, H3H3 does, and a lot of other people do, and said, oh, it's profitable if I do this, right? It's profitable if I make the drama content. It's profitable if I blow up people's lives and their personal shit, you know. And, same thing with, I'll say this with this lawyer guy, Nick Recchietta. If that's how you say his name, I have no idea how you say his name, right? I don't feel that Nick is a bad guy. I don't think that. And I don't think that for the 4 months that he was trying to publicly cover my bankruptcy proceedings, that he was trying to be malicious. I actually don't believe that. I actually believe that he's someone who, again, got sucked into the vortex of, oh, this is the kind of content that brings in the views. So if I have a show where I talk about Phil's bankruptcy filing publicly, and I say that as a lawyer I can give more perspective to this, I'll get attention for myself. Oh, look, that really blew up. So now let's have a hours-long podcast with people who hate Phil so they can just shit on him constantly and make jokes at his expense to make him look bad. And that's what I mean. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope where the further you dive down into this toilet of shit, the more stuck you get in the doo-doo. You know what I mean? And that's why I won't do it. That's why I'm not gonna come out here and talk about people's personal fucking lives and stuff. I'm not gonna be a toxic content creator. I want to just have fun with games. And I hope you guys understand that. The past couple of days have been so weird that, like, now people are talking about this kind of content creation and saying, oh, it's bad. It's like, oh, no shit. I've been the victim of it for, at this point, probably 5 straight years. I would say 7, but the first 2 years were just about my gameplay, which honestly I don't give a fuck about anymore. Back then I did. Who cares about this is how you don't play, right? But as soon as it went to my personal life, my slandering me and stuff about it, you know what I mean? Like, that's when it got terrible for me. That's when, it was constant harassment and slander. It was shutting down opportunities left and right for me. Why is Phil in such a terrible financial situation? Well, because I could never get a sponsorship. Because I could never take those opportunities that other content creators could. I never got my fair share of any of that. Despite the fact that I had popularity, I had reach, I had views, I had all the following that people would require to have those opportunities, and I never got them because of the toxic people who always ruined it for me. You see? But no one wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about, oh, Phil did this on stream and Phil did that on stream. And of course I did. But everyone else did too. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes on streams. Everyone makes mistakes in their content. Everyone's a flawed human. But no one gets hammered and microanalyzed and has the amount of slander and defamation happen to them for minor little normal things like I do. You see? I never got the fair shake like everyone else. And because of that, why do you think things got worse and worse and worse for me over the years? Is it because of my bad financial decisions? Yes, absolutely. That's why I was in the terrible situation that I got myself into. But at the same time, every time there was a positive or an opportunity that maybe this could help me and get me out of it, it was taken away from me because of the people who systematically harassed me online and tried to ruin my life so they could get popularity for themselves. That's how I know that this kind of drama and toxic content is not productive, should never have been allowed on YouTube, okay? Then you got people who say, oh, Phil's full of shit, we don't want to hear this. Yeah, you want to know who says that? People who've been guilty of it all along. The people who are here on my streams just because what they like to do is wait for that moment of weakness or silliness or for me to make a mistake so they can blow it up with drama. Those are the people who don't want to hear this because they don't want to actually believe that their actions directly have consequences that hurt people, right? They want to believe that you can just make fun of whatever you can. You can say and do whatever you want on the internet. There's no repercussions and no one's hurt and everything's fine and everything's fucking rainbows and unicorns and shit. It's not. Those are the people who, that's why they say, oh, Phil, stop talking about this, right? Because you don't want to look in the mirror. Instead, you just want to have it keep going on with your happy horse shit every day. Dude, did you look at the fucking mirror, you stupid muppet? And you know, this week has been kind of an eye-opening opportunity for me to kind of vent a little bit about the situation and say, you know, this has been my life. I've been the person targeted by these kind of people for years and years. I've been the butt of everyone's joke. I've been the one who's always he's the worst example of a content creator. But why? Can you actually give me legitimate rationalization of something that I maybe have done that's so horrible that other people haven't? No, you can't.
Of course, now we got to get someone in the stream chat who wants to turn their own personal story into, you know, derailing the chat, and I'm not going to put up with it. So I'm just going to warn you right now, you know, War Dog Leader, there's no way for us to know if what you're saying in the stream chat is legitimate or not. You could be someone completely making stuff up, or you could be completely legitimate. Appreciate the sentiment, and sorry to hear about a family member that passed away, but no one wants to hear you make this about how I'm in the wrong for being stressed in my life because you have a situation that's worse. That's ridiculous. Go run your own stream if you want to do that. We don't, you know what I mean? Like, he's trying to make me look like a villain because he says someone passed away and he's doing better than me. Wow. Well, good for you. Maybe you're a stronger human than me, then. Maybe you're a better person than me. Good for you. Go run your own stream and everyone could go watch it. This is my stream. People want to know why I wasn't here, and I'm being honest.
But still, I'm the guy he's the lowest on the totem pole. You would never want to be Phil, right? It's fucked up. And it's just kind of messed up. I mean, honestly, you know, it does. It makes me feel like shit that I worked so hard, and I know, you know, people say, do you get jealous of other content creators? Of course I am. You know, I told you, sometimes I sit down and I watch playthroughs with my wife. And recently I've been watching, like, from software playthroughs among some first-person shooters and RPGs. And you watch these people play these games, right? And having fun, genuinely, like I do. And pretty much doing nothing very different from what I do. There's a few that I've watched that don't have a webcam, that only make 15 to 20-minute long parts, that have sponsorships that they're constantly pushing. Things that you guys always complain to me about. Phil, if you want to be modernized, you got to have a webcam. You got to have longer parts, and you can't just constantly be advertised. You know, all these things that I changed and I phased out of my content because you guys told me I needed to do it to become better. These people do, you know, they have all that stuff, and they're insanely popular. They have a positive viewer base. They have people who love them. They have sponsorships. And I'm like, where did it all go wrong for me that I can't have that stuff? And really, the answer is because of the toxic people. The toxic people who follow me around. You know? That's why. And it frustrates me that this week the whole thing blows up on YouTube. The toxic content drama creators are bad, and here's why. No shit. I could have told you that day one. I could have fucking told you that day one. But how people didn't realize that until this week, I have no idea. It's not, everyone makes the thing, what is it? I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. That's not my attitude, at least not anymore. You know, when I first started on YouTube, it was. I thought my shit didn't stink, but I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. I know I make mistakes all the time, you know, but all I would love is a fair shake, and I don't get it, you know. And why? Because of toxic content creators. That's why. Because people like Keemstar made this content popular, and everyone jumped on the bandwagon, including people like Rich, who really didn't make that content in the past, and then decided that this was his way to make a living on YouTube, was to delve into that realm of content. And so, you know what I mean? Just what's the next saga of Phil? They talk about it every day. What's the next saga that Phil will be involved in? The next drama saga? How about none? How about I never wanted to be in a saga? How about I just want to fucking play games and have fun? I don't want to be involved with your dumb shit. You know, I never wanted to. I never wanted to be involved in that crap. You pulled me in. You know, the YouTube toxic community pulled me into that shit by coming onto my streams with your negative memes and derailing all your shit and the negative toxic stuff you say about me that's not true. That's where the saga comes from. You know, not because I created it. You did. You made the saga for your own personal, you know, enjoyment and benefit. Not me. I don't want that shit. I never wanted that shit. I just wanted to sit here and play games and enjoy myself. And saying, you know, thanks for being honest, we appreciate that. And then, like I said, the people who don't want to look in the mirror are saying, don't do that, how dare you talk about this, we don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous because these are the people who want to propagate that, but as soon as I call it out, they don't want to hear about it, right? Because again, they don't want to be self-aware. They want to get away with it, but they don't want to be self-aware about it, right? Like this guy who just tipped me, play the game. Stop talking about drama for hours and play the game. Shut the fuck up. It's my stream. I can just sit here. If I want to sit here and fart into the mic for fucking 4 hours, I'll fart into the mic. And either you like it or you don't. But it's my stream and I have the ability to talk about what I want to talk about. You know? If you don't like it, fuck off. That's, I don't know what else to say for views or whatever. And of course now people will say, but what about Pro Jared last year, right? What about when Phil really gave it to him? Actually, I didn't. Last year I made 2 tweets about Pro Jared. The first was actually calling him out for his tweet several years prior where he had made fun of me on Twitter unsolicited. I had never said a negative thing about the guy ever, and he made a nasty tweet about me on Twitter. So all I did was quote his nasty tweet about me from years earlier and then said, gee, it's funny because, you know, years ago you made this tweet about me, but today the entire internet's talking negatively about you. Oops. Quoting him, saying oops about me, you know, years earlier. That wasn't talking specifically about anything about him. That was just me basically calling him out for being toxic to me years before. And then I made another tweet and said, if you're going to fail on the internet, fail for your content, not for your character. I didn't even address him at all. At all. Right? So, that's the funny thing that people say, oh, Phil, you really got over on the whole Pro Jared scandal last year. And, you know, he's since proven that he's innocent of all accusations. And you never really apologized to him or whatever. I never insulted him either. Like, of all the people who came out and said stuff about him, I was the least insulting in reality. I quoted his insulting tweet and only basically joked and said, yeah, well, now the joke's on you today. So kind of, you know, karma coming back to bite you. And then I made a very general statement saying, if you're going to fail on the internet, fail because you don't make good content, which is not the case with Pro Jared. He makes good content, but he basically became the laughingstock of the internet because of stuff in his private life, which is not good, you know? And that's all I said. I never attacked the guy. I never personally made insults about him at all. In reality, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't even know fully what he was accused of. I have no idea. I actually have no clue at all. I really don't know. I wasn't involved in that whole situation. I don't know what he did or anything, you know?
Hours yet.
That's right, Daniel. Just remember, Daniel, it's okay every once in a while to use your powers, but never fully cheat. Never go full... I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
Training since we got here.
It's too easy. It's too easy. I can't take those easy pot shots for me. They're too easy. That's like lowest common denominator for me. I'm not going to say it.
I'd rather
I'm not going to say it.
hang out with their new friends.
Well, because we need to fit in if needed.
What?
I can't believe someone would possibly cheat. What kind of a person would cheat? I mean, you'd have to be the lowest human form of existence to be a cheater, a dirty, rotten cheater.
What do you mean?
Come on. Don't play dumb. You're showing off in front of Finn. You want him to find out?
Finn is cool. He wouldn't tell anybody.
You don't know that. You're gonna get busted.
Everyone's
man.
freaking out in the stream chat because they
You
said
need to
that. It's
listen to
funny.
me.
Stop.
Use your power responsibly. Don't use it. Don't use it in an abusive manner, and don't cheat. Remember, Daniel, learn from the internet.
Low profile.
Yeah.
Keep a low profile. Whatever you do, don't be like... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to
I
say it.
know. It could be way worse. We're making cash, you know.
Okay.
All right. So, play the game. This is what I had addressed. Play the game. Did a $4.20 tip and said, if you don't like drama, stop talking about drama for hours and 2 days in a row and actually play the games. That's right, because you know, guys, I have no right to actually, like, talk about stuff on my stream. That's my stream. It's not allowed. You know, I have to let this one particular viewer dictate what I say and do on my streams. Even if there's something that's like bothering me or nagging at me and I feel like it's pertinent to what I do as a content creator and maybe I could talk a little bit publicly about it and do some good, I'm not allowed to do that because this guy wants to see Daymare right now, right? Let's go. By the way, I'm getting sweaty, no lie, because the reason that really I need the air conditioner at this point is because when I put on the vest, I get hot. And now I'm getting hot because the air conditioner's not on, it's just on fans. So I'm starting to get hot in here. I'm like, ugh. I got like another 30-35 minutes left on this stream and I'm starting to sweat. Why do I hate skeletons in video games so much? It all started, honestly, with Dragon Age Origins. With Dragon Age Origins, there were so many goddamn skeletons in that game that would constantly bombard me. There were entire dungeons where the entire room was fucking full of skeletons and shit. So I joked that I hated skeletons so much, and then it was, incidentally, I ended up playing a series of games after that that had a ton of fucking skeletons in them. So it was just kind of, it was ironic that it started off with one game and then it was like a pattern of skeletons after that.
Remember, no Russian.
Meaning, don't kill any Russians, because they're supposed to be Russian. So they don't want to kill any other Russians, but kill all the international people who are at the airport. Look, oh my god. All these innocents slaughtered. Amounts of money every year, I could literally just sit around not operating for extended periods of time and then able to come back. They're not going to be able to. These small businesses are done. And in particular, there were two businesses around here that were both kind of small, hole-in-the-wall, diner-style places that Kat and I loved eating. And we can almost guarantee they're going to be closed by the time that this thing ends and everything reopens. One of them, right at the very early days of the pandemic, over 2 months ago, we tried to order out, and they were on DoorDash to order. We ordered, and they canceled our order because the business closed. They determined they could not have the capacity to do to-go orders only. So they closed the business, and by now, I guarantee you they're out of business. Which sucks. They're amazing. The food was some of the best around here for any kind of food. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, sandwiches. And they're just they're toast, you know? They're absolute fucking toast. And all we're gonna end up getting now is chain restaurant. Never mind. Solve the fountain puzzle. Oh no! Are you fucking shitting me? This is bullshit. Holy fuck, dude. He came running full fucking speed at me. What was I supposed to do?
Box of ammo lying around would be nice.
Oh my god. Now I have no fucking health. That was insane.
This way, let's go. Go.
Well, a lot of these people who are tipping are troll tippers. I'm just gonna have to ban them from derailing the stream and basically being fucking racist. So here we go. Get rid of this idiot. Of course, you know, I'm trying to have fun. A game I played 10 years ago. Trying to remember my first playthrough. Trying to have fun with it. Oh, let's troll Phil's stream. You know, that's what worthless shitheads fucking do. If I can find this fucking save room. Oh no. Oh no. Not good. I have 0 health. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag sewer level. It always fucking happens in every fucking playthrough, especially survival horror. There's always a sewer level. Always. They seriously can't stop. They can't help themselves. They have to fucking put a sewer level in every game. It never fails. VG stuff, what the fuck did you just post in the stream chat? It's like some fucking, I'm not even kidding, like a sexual fan fiction of Harry Potter where Voldemort is measuring his penis against someone else. I mean, Do we really have to talk about that stuff on my gameplay streams? Really, man? Jesus. I take it back. These streams are not very relaxing. They're very, very stressful. I like how people who were not here for the whole stream paying zero attention think I'm looking up the answer on my phone. I'm looking up a picture that I took of that plaque I just looked at. That's what I'm doing. I'm not on fucking game facts. People are just fucking stupid drama idiots. He's looking it up, man. I took a picture 2 seconds ago, you idiot. It took me $3. He says, where does Nintendo rank among your list of favorite game developers? Honestly, pretty high up there. Nintendo, all their first-party stuff is, I mean, can you really say you could think even of a single era in Nintendo's history where their first-party games weren't good? They're always gold. Every Mario game, every Zelda game, every Metroid game, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, the staple stuff that they put out is top effing notch, you know? You can't hate on that.
What the fuck is Nintendo thinking?